I spent the last little while now trying to think of ways to explain what this game is without comparing it to other known properties and without sounding like I'm reading off of a Wikipedia article, both of which I'm afraid I do far too often. On the other hand, Fall Guys is such a brilliantly simple concept to grasp that the genre comparisons make themselves. Yet at the same time, trying to make that analogy that this is a Mario Party minigame mode smashed together with Fortnite, despite the title of this video, does a disservice to all of those properties by making that correlation. Because Fall Guys is way more fun than Mario Party or Fortnite in pretty much every way imaginable. Fall Guys and their jelly beans have taken the internet by storm with this approach to gameplay that's mostly reminiscent of Wipeout or Most Extreme Elimination Challenge. I mean, you remember those shows, right? Well, for those of you who don't know, Wipeout and MXC were shows where contestants were put through a series of obstacle courses with the first person to complete the series obtaining some kind of prize, usually cash. It was oddly hilarious in the way that slapstick comedy can hit right when done correctly. And the hilarity came from how incompetent some of the contestants were, though I'm sure that if we were put in their shoes, we'd also do just as poorly. But fear not, model citizens, for you have to wonder what it would be like no longer. Thanks to downward descending male individuals, you too can now experience what it's like to file a lawsuit. The rules of the game are simple. Get to the finish line, or complete the minigame in better standing than your fellow contestants. The final round will always yield a game in which there's only one winner. And it seems easy, but then you realize that the physics at play are unreliable best, which leads to a certain blend of slapstick and suspense. Haha, look at my guy fall over. Oh shit, there's only X qualifying spots left. Get up, you mongoloid. And while Wipeout or MXC was a lot of pain and suffering, Fall Guys' visual and audio design makes every hit that someone takes kind of hilarious. As my friend Moonwalker so eloquently put it, every time a character bumbles into another, it sounds like a leprechaun getting punched in the gut. Whenever your falling man falls, they let out a woo, as if it's something fun that's happening to them, even though they're usually falling to their death. You know, it's never really clarified what happens to these characters when they get eliminated. Like, is falling into slime just grounds for elimination, or does their body immediately disintegrate upon touching it? I need answers. As far as the individual minigames go, I'd say that they're mostly alright. This might sound a little scummy of me, but with how many of the minigames I feel are dogshit tier, most of which happen to be the team-based minigames, and with how the game servers shit the bed every time I log on, I occasionally struggle to say that the game is worth full price at the moment. Now, I'm all for supporting indie creators. Heck, most of my videos on video games are on indie games themselves, and it's what takes up a great majority of my Steam library. This game is by far Mediatonic's biggest success in their collective development history. They surpassed 7 million units sold on Steam recently, and are the most downloaded game on PS Plus this month, putting them out ahead of Modern Warfare 2. I can't imagine that they could have predicted such a positive response, and in turn it's understandable as to why the servers have been all over the place and why some of the game modes might need switching up or tuning. Simply put, they didn't expect this many people to be here, and while I can complain and point out these obvious flaws with the game, I don't think that they fully detract from the full experience. Plus, since the player base is much larger than Mediatonic ever expected, and definitely larger than their beta testing group, I almost see my time now with Fall Guys as a second beta, where the test is how well the servers respond to the stress of 160,000 daily players on Steam. Yes, they removed names because people were using them to mess up the UI, and they were using them to display rather inappropriate messages, and yes, there are hackers in this game, but I think that we need to be giving Mediatonic a little more grace than we have been on a lot of their Twitter posts. It's really disheartening to see Fall Guys Twitter post something actually kind of fun, and only to have people complain and whinge about these little details as if there's something that can be coded out just because they can complain hard enough. I'm sure the Mediatonic wants their game to survive and do well, and so could you do them a favor and give them a little bit of space? What I'm saying is that if you're looking for a bug-free experience, which let's be honest, no game really is these days, you're going to be sorely disappointed. And while some of the mini games are pain, the rest of the games in here are actually really fun to play and make the rest of the game feel well worth it. Plus, everyone else is playing it. So if anything, it's a great game to pick up and throw around with some friends for a bit. There's a lot more that I could artificially say about Fall Guys, but I feel like most of the analogies or minigame by minigame dissection would be fairly boring, mostly because we've all seen what they can do, and what sort of analysis is there to have anyway? Egg Scramble and Fall Ball are a bloody pain in the ass and represent why a team game shouldn't exist in the Fall Guys formula. Hexagon and Slime Climb are by far the best games currently available, and each time I play them, I wish more and more that the devs would make Fall Guys a fully realized obstacle course elimination kind of game, where you truly are one against 50 plus others instead of having to rely on teammates who may not understand how the movement mechanics work in this game. It's fun, to say the least. It's probably the most non-competitive fun that I've had in a while, and I hope it sticks around for a long time. That's all I have for this video. Sorry that it was kind of short, but really, again, not a whole lot to say. But thanks so much for watching. Travel safe, everyone, and goodbye.